1, go.
Welcome to another edition of the MMA Analysis Podcast. Sean fucked up the countdown. Had absolutely nothing to do with me.
You made me laugh, you asshole.
I know I'm not supposed to do that until the podcast starts. I have a very limited supply of humor, and I need to keep it for this hour and a half every week. That's why my wife hates me. Anyway, we're back. Lance isn't back. He's doing something, flying to Malaysia or some shit to, I don't know, build claymation statues.
I'm sure he's getting sick is what he's doing.
Yeah, he's going to this new clinic that's got some kind of special HIV transfusion shit that they're trying out.
Getting that new cocktail.
He's first on the list. I mean, they've never seen a man that gets so sick constantly.
He's going to be patient 0 for COVID-21. That's what he's going to get right now. But the rest of us are here coming off a solid card. Honestly, I say solid because you guys are going to refresh my memory, but I'm getting old. If the main event starts after 1 a.m., I don't fucking remember. I think Colby and Usman was a decent fight.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But
yeah, it was good.
I don't remember. Like, any fight where Colby Covington is getting punched in the face a bunch is a good fight. But yeah,
you got to move west.
It's too late.
When the main event goes on at like 10:30, quarter to 11, you're just like, all right, this is decent.
Yeah, that I can handle. I'm all for that. Luckily, we'll get a bit of a break this week because, first of all, none of the fights other than the main event are worth watching. And the main event's going to be on earlier. So, sometimes the UFC giveth and the UFC taketh away. It's a good time like that. Anyway, Sean, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing well. My Oilers are doing all right. They're doing all right. I mean, I think their record is not as is better than what they are, but they can't take the wins back, so we'll take them. And the McJesus is well on his way to making Twitter, MMA Twitter, a shit ton of money.
It's more than MMA Twitter, dude.
Or sorry, not MMA Twitter, just like all of
gambling Twitter. Like it's spread into. I watched some football NFL podcasts and shit of some other guys, and they got Connor McDavid Hart money and shit.
It is a liability for a lot of books.
I can imagine. They're just praying that there's an injury.
Crazy. Yeah, Bo has crazy money on that. Crazy.
He's got cars on it.
He's got like a small house on it down here in the States. Like he's got legit.
It's gonna be a fun ride.
What's the line watch at now?
I think it's around like even money plus 140.
The guy Dave Mason has it at even money now.
Even money. I think that's the worst line out there because Dave Mason knows better.
Yep.
Yeah. But
because Bo's got him maxed out there. I know he's got me close to that. He's got other people maxed out in Bet Online. He saw it. Dave Mason ain't dumb. He's on Twitter. I'm sure he's seen it.
He's begging for some money on the field.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, they're praying for an injury at this point, but injuries only befall Nathan McKinnon. Because that's what happens when you go up against the Connor A. Hart.
I mean,
Hart McDavid. Hart.
I don't know shit about hockey, but I've watched more Oilers games this year than I've ever watched any hockey games in a season. And that other cat on the Oilers is like worrying me because that motherfucker's good, bro.
He is very good too. Draisaitl is very good.
Like you remember back, it's been years ago, but I actually went out to the bars a lot more and shit, sports bars with buddies, and he liked hockey. And it was when the Penguins won with Crosby and that cat Malkin.
Yep.
And didn't it seem like on that team that Malkin might have been like as good during some of those runs than Crosby?
He won the MVP.
Yeah, of one of them, right?
One of the years.
That's what it just worries me, man, because it seems like
It's okay.
They expect it out of McDavid, though. So if he does some crazy season that's unexpected, it worried. I got a lot of money.
You don't want
okay.
Narrative Nation to be all over it, right?
Get our
It's still early.
Show,
It's still early. The gap will start very, very soon, and the amount of points that he will put up, there's like either you're going to give it to him or Draisaitl. Like the amount of points they're going to put up, like you can't give it to somebody else and be like, oh well, they play together, so then no, fuck you. Like they're gonna outscore everybody by like 40, 50 points.
Dude's ridiculous, man. I know the goal the other night. That's one of the better sports plays you'll see. Yeah. I don't care if it's hockey or basketball, whatever. That shit was just ridiculous. Like the screenshot of like 5 dudes around him, and then he scored. It's crazy, man. The dude's ridiculous.
Yeah. That was
pretty good.
That was good.
You can probably get some Draisaitl MVP at like plus 1,000 to hedge off if you really want to. Depends how much you have out there, but don't tell Bo I said that, because we gotta have faith. We gotta ride.
Bo thinks you're short at even money.
Yeah, exactly.
You're short.
Actually, I just pulled up 365, and they've still got a plus 150 there. So if you're listening to this and you're short, which you are, go bet it. Wes, we talked a little bit, but how are things with you? How's Kentucky basketball? Is a thing that's back, right? But they lost, judging by your face.
They're good though. They're really good. And what a lot of people don't realize is that we just signed today the #1 recruit in the country for next season, and he's possibly going to enroll in January and be on this year's team.
You could do that?
Yeah, if you got your credits and everything. The new academic year starts in like January. Yeah. So you can enroll and play if you want. That's your year of eligibility though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you only get half a year or whatever. But.
Yeah. But
it's going to still be important part of the season.
He's going pro regardless. So why not get in?
It's not like he's staying there for 3 to 4 years. He's getting in and
but
getting
this
out.
gives him this draft eligibility, because you have to play quote unquote
1 year outside
1 year
high
school.
This gives him that 1 year out of high school. He's eligible for the draft. So but the team's good, man. Duke's just good. Like they're really, really fucking good. They got pros all over that team. I mean, Banchero, is probably the #1 pick in the draft this year. Like, that guy's ridiculous. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a
you get that loss out of the way. Now it's smooth sailings. Now you don't have to worry about that O going.
Yeah, and we're kind of shitty in this first game, man. We're Kentucky, so we're playing. Duke's the same way though. We're playing each other first game of the year. Like that shit was unheard of like 6 or 7 years ago. You didn't schedule games like that to start the year. You played like 7 nobody so you could get your team together and gel and shit. But
that was actually when you had the same players every year instead of 7 new guys every year.
Yeah, that's been a decade now. Like the whole top one and done type guys. Like Cal's been at Kentucky for like 11 years now.
Yeah,
like it's kind of unbelievable to think. And his first class was John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins and shit. That was his first class there. So like this shit's been going on. Just like other schools started doing it, like Kentucky was. Like Kay tried to say for years, I won't do that. And then finally, like they were
forced to.
They were going out in the first round of the tournament and shit. And he was like, "Oh fuck, we got to start paying these guys." You know what I'm saying?
Zion.
Well, I mean, they're getting paid, dude. Like people that think this shit before all this NIL shit where they're actually getting what they're worth. Like you see all the deals that the Kentucky players got. Like Ty Washington has got to deal with our local Porsche dealer and shit. Like he's getting a Porsche to drive and shit. You think those guys weren't getting a bunch of this shit before this?
Yeah.
You're dumb. You're just an idiot. Like people's always
who cares? As long as you're not fixing games, who gives a shit? Let them have all the money. I don't give a fuck.
That reminds me of basketball, man.
They deserve every cent.
So good.
Do you know how much money Shaq makes now as much as he made in college?
Yeah, no doubt. That was good shit. Yeah, the only other thing I want to say before we get started, since I missed last week, is the goddamn garage, man. We could take 10 seconds to come back. It was that good.
Yeah.
I was shocked that it was like that easy.
Yeah.
Completely shocked that it was that easy. And they're gonna give us like plus 250 against Yuri. And I think Sean might have said it in the chat that we have, that next time it's gonna be a true Glover fight. But it's gonna happen again. Watch. We're gonna get 250, but next time Yuri's gonna crack him. He's still gonna win though. Like, shit's great, man.
I know. It's glorious. Awesome. 2021 Glover champ.
I mean, we had to be confident the whole time. So I thought of this as I put this shirt on. This is a very old local MMA event that I went to, headlined by Sokoju.
Nice.
Post UFC Sokoju. So you know that shit's not good. And I think this was I think after this, so after Sokoju being terrible and barely winning this fight against Roy Boughton, is when Jan quit on the stool against him. So when I thought of that, I was like, no, we're good. This man is no match for Glover. No match at all. And it was true. It's a beautiful thing.
Yep. Very
shout outs to terrible local old bad MMA organizations.
Oh, you love that one that was a TV channel and now it's an app and the TV channel doesn't even exist.
Mm-hmm.
And the app's actually one of the biggest fucking sports apps in the world.
That was some of the first people I even like followed on Twitter and shit and started talking MMA was people like associated with like the Score, like Adam Martin and Gabe Morrissey and all them. Like those were some of the first guys that I started following Joey Bagels because he did segments on Gabe Morrissey's show.
Yeah, that was good shit. That was like some of the first actual sports betting content.
Yeah, that's why I thought. Yep. They talked about fights and betting. I mean, Gabe Morrissey's been a degenerate gambler for so many years.
Decades.
Yep.
Good old Hershey Center, eh, Hyper? Good stuff. Anyway,
so y'all hit that together, huh? Damn.
Not together. We were both.
Oh, both there, huh?
Yeah, we had quite the event on Saturday night that we're going to recap for you guys, and then it is Max Holloway fight week, and there's also apparently 10 other fights on that card, but we'll get to those shortly. First, got to talk about UFC. Man, really nice.
Brad, your audio is messing up. I think it's rubbing against the your shirt or something, or not plugged in right.
Brad's or is it mine?
I thought it was Brad's, but
mine because my shit was going nuts too. I don't know if
maybe it's all Wes's fault.
Okay. UFC 268, excellent cards. It was nice to have 2 weeks in a row of like actual good MMA.
Didn't know what that felt like, man.
No, it's don't think we're going to see that again for a while, but and at least we've got one more quality fight this week. So, kicking it off in UFC 268 flyweight division, we had Ode Osbourne defeating CJ Vergara. More like CJ Viagra. Needed a little pill to get him kick-started. Unanimous decision. Anything on this one, guys?
Nope. Nothing.
Good stuff.
No, I don't think I had anything else.
I think I saw the third round and Osbourne get the decision. So that was about it for me. Next up in the featherweight division, Melsik Bagdasaryan, Armenia's finest, days, as we found out later on the card, getting a unanimous decision over Bruno Souza, who that was the guy who seemed like he didn't really want to do much of anything. That's just good radio.
That's good radio. I was slow on the mute. That is my fault, sirs.
Is it still fucking up?
Now it sounds good.
We'll see.
It was Wes's. It wasn't me.
Oh, yeah. I know. I was testing it out, and then Wes just pulls the plug, and static blows out everybody's ears.
Man, did it?
Enjoy it, sir. Everybody wake up after we were boring them with the hockey and the other shit. I like to wake up and we can bullshit about fights.
I didn't even make people talk about lacrosse. There's futures for the NLL this year. Futures.
Oh shit. Look out.
Yeah, sport of the future. Milsic, he's pretty good. Bruno Souza, don't really care to watch him again.
Yeah, that was a fairly uneventful fight, which I guess we shouldn't be too surprised when Souza is a Machida taught fighter. Machida loved to have some of those snoozers every once in a while.
Correct. Anything on that, Wes?
Yeah, I thought Milsic looked all right. He's another one of those guys that's at a terrible gym, though. We've already seen that. What happens to another guy we'll talk about later if you can't go get some real training somewhere. I'm going to go get some other headphones.
All right. On very short notice and taking unanimous decision over John Allen. This didn't quite go how I expected, but Jacoby ended up winning nonetheless. Sean?
Yeah, not too much. I mean, John Allen's terrible. I kind of expected more from Jacoby, but yeah, I don't think he's that good either. It's just these weight classes, man. There is a lack of talent, it seems.
Yeah, 205 aside from after that, the card got pretty awesome. So, T-shirt in the pool division. I thought this was a contender's bout, but Chris Barnett proved that he is the new champ in the T-shirt in the pool division. Roque Martinez has to come back for that crown, and that is the fight that I want to see, because how often in MMA are you going to get a 5'8" fat-ass heavyweight finishing a guy in his retirement fight with a spinning wheel kick? I don't know what to say. Chris Martinez or Chris Barnett, the GOAT.
I mean, I was just surprised they were letting Jean in the cage being that far along. That was holy shit. He did not step foot in a fucking gym since his last fight. There is you can't tell me any different. That was and the funny thing is he still probably won the first round. That wheel kick, like it hit him. I didn't feel like he was that hurt. He just was like, fuck it. I'm getting swarmed. I don't really want to get up and get hit with real punches.
I don't blame him all the way.
Yeah, that's a complete business decision. That was his last one, and I'm sure he was happy that he didn't catch more damage in the process.
Wes, your thoughts on the new champ?
The new T-shirt in the pool champ.
Oh, is he crowned? Oh,
he has been officially crowned. Yes.
I mean, that went beyond like Jake Collier, dude. That man was he was a legit 265 of fucking stomach, man. That was nuts. There's few guys that have literally transformed like that, man. That was crazy to see him. Yeah, I mean, Chris Barnett, it's kind of wild, man. He landed it, though. That shit did land. To get fucking kicked like that, I don't care what Jan looked like. He had to quit after that. You never fight again, bro. I think I had the over in that fight, which was
so did I.
Really, really bad beat, man. I
Ooh,
think it was like
seven
7 seconds or something like that. Yeah, it was really bad. Like that thing was cruising to a 15-minute decision.
Oh yeah,
like cruising. And to get that dude, crown him. He gets the wet T-shirt just for
that. Cannonballs for everybody. Yeah, I mean, you got to give John some credit because he hung in there. You know, at least this kick kind of landed. Do you remember when JDS knocked out Mark Hunt and that one just like barely grazed the top of his head? Pass to Johnny Vellante ain't no bitch like Mark Hunt. I'll tell you that.
That is blasphemy, Brad.
All right, next up, Ireland's new hope, Ian Gary, beats up on the insulin kid, the poor insulin kid. I mean, I know he's used to taking shots, but this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that dude likes to get hit a lot. And I think we've seen that a bunch. We saw that with Pimblett. Like, these guys have pretty good offensive games, but their decent defensive games needs big time work, and that might catch up to you if you fight certain guys in the UFC. I mean, the insulin kid couldn't do it, but I don't know. It's a bit concerning getting hit that much, but we'll see. He's got some power.
These young UK fellas sure do like to get punched in the face. Between Gary and Mason Jones,
Yep.
anybody else they've got coming up right now. I love it. Absolutely love it. I did not love the next fight. 185. The French Russian, the Prussian prod, or the Prussian fraud, something like that. Takes out Edmund. Armenian. Only one Canelo was allowed to win on Saturday night, and it was not the Armenian Canelo. Wes, what did you think about our boy Edmund being very much no longer our boy?
Yeah, I mean, I think he went up against another really tough guy. Like he's had some pretty rough matchups, but I mean, I know they said that he was trying to train some wrestling at AKA and shit, but you can't tell. Like he can't stop a takedown, man. He's just not going to be anything if he stays training anytime with fucking Edmund. Like it's just not going to work, man. But he's still so young. I don't want to say he's not ever going to be good. Like it's possible. I think Amanov is decent. You know, we did watch him get smoked pretty good though by a guy that we're still not sure about anymore in the Phil Hogs. You know, and then whoop his ass when he gassed and started gassing real bad. But so I don't know how good he is either. But I don't know about Edmund, man. It's one of those situations now in the UFC to where if you're okay, you get to the UFC and win a fight and they start giving you good matchups and you're just not ready. I mean, he's still, I think they said it's like the second youngest fighter in the UFC right now. So it's just like, it feels like he's rushed, man. Like he needs to be in a lower organization for a couple years and who knows. So
they might have ruined him. They might have ruined
taking
him
some beatings
with what they did. And like, it's tough. Like he knocked out Brad Tavares. That deserved to step up. Like, I don't know if I would have went as far as they did, but I think the big fuck up is that they don't drop you down far enough when you lose. Like they don't give rebound fights, and they probably should to some of these younger guys. Give them big step. I thought this was a step down for him. I guess he needs even more than that. Like, yeah, Imavov is all right. He's decent, but man, Shabazian just looks like a shell of himself. Like it could be just who he's fighting, but it also could be the damage that he's taken in some of these fights. I don't know. That's scary because
to have as many miles as he does, I think.
Yeah, at that age. Yeesh, not good.
Speaking of a guy who was taking some stuff, Phil Hoggs. Man, we talked about it last week. We said the cardio is bad, and that's not a good thing. It's not a good long-term trait. But I think the biggest concern for us after watching some of his previous fights is chin, and the chin ain't good.
He looked good.
He is an unbelievable talent. He is unbelievable.
With a glass
he has
jaw.
no chin whatsoever. Like he looked amazing. Like that dude's skill is unbelievable, and it doesn't matter, and it's never gonna matter because that guy can't take anything. He got knocked out this time. He got knocked. It was a couple times. This dude's stumbling. He's out. He's out. Gets hit again, and is down. Like he's got no chin whatsoever. It's crazy, man. It is nuts.
Chris Curtis could have waited until the second. Like, fuck.
Yeah,
I was dumb and didn't take TKO. I had him second and third, but
I will say I liked I was gonna bet Hawes when this fight was last time before it got canceled again, and then they rebooked it. And the more I thought about it, and the more y'all talk, I just played the under this time. I saved myself.
Smart man.
Yep.
What did you say you had, Sean? It was second round, right?
I had round 2 and round 3. So as long as Curtis didn't fucking.
Yeah. Did you have the same? You probably had the same prices that I had, like 20 and 25 on those.
No, I had a little bit shittier than you. I played it a little later or something like that, but yeah.
It was they were not. I had a little bit of inside, but it was only like plus 550. So you know how I chase my.
I would definitely have taken that instead of nothing because he flatlines inside of 1.
That's fair. One that I certainly did not make money on because regardless of who I thought was going to win, I thought it was going to go a whole lot longer than 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Bobby Green can apparently knock out realtors. He can't knock out fighters, but he can knock out realtors. In the house that Al sold, no less. MSG. Wow, the disrespect from Bobby Green. Wes, this is just a dude who doesn't want to fight anymore and showed up for a paycheck, right?
Yeah, I mean, to make Bobby Green look like that, I think they said it'd been like exactly like 8 years to the day that Bobby Green had a KO. 8 years to the day, and to make Bobby Green look like Prime Anderson out there, hands down, throwing shit from his waist and piecing you up like that, knocking you out. Go sell houses, Al. It's got to be better money. Like it has to be. Yeah, I had Green in a small parlay, and then had a little bit more on him by decision. So that I never saw that happening. I don't think anybody. I think his KO was like a pretty big number too, if I'm not mistaken.
As it should be. Yeah, I bet him by decision as well. So of course I lost money with you there. I mean, Bobby Green is decent. It's just he decides not to fight sometimes, or he decides to fight again like as shitty as his opponent is, and he's got some skills, man. But man, Al looked fucking bad. He got hit with damn near every single punch that Bobby Green threw. Yeah, he's Dunsky. I guess nobody from the old Long Island was training much this camp.
Yeah, they're about done. Who do they have anymore? Really,
Aljo.
Aljo.
That's it. Well, and they got the Georgian wrestling machine. We'll
lay off.
That's about it.
We'll lay off the snooze for one time since he was awesome last time out. We'll lay off for one time.
We'll see.
Yep.
No promises. Next up, middleweight division. Alex Baeza comes over to not MMA, but over to the UFC. He's had some MMA fights before, and he put that Michelinas in the microwave for 3 minutes, then he took it out and stirred it, and put it back in for another 3 minutes, and that shit was done. It
That's pretty
over.
good.
I don't think anybody was shocked by anything that happened in this fight.
No, I had TKO at like even money on Pereira, which was a kind of a mind-boggling number because like if he was gonna win, he was gonna knock out this dude. He might get wrestled, he might get laid on, but if he's gonna win, and pretty much anytime he had space, he's gonna finish a guy that got finished by the mediocre Bukaki. So that was a very bad number in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know if I think he's just too old to kind of transition as well as Adesanya has. But he's going to be in some fun ass fights for however long it lasts.
If they can find guys to strike with him,
that is what we need.
There you go, Pereira and Edmund. That's the next fight.
Oh, that's so mean for Edmund.
You just like put the nail in that kid's coffin. Like,
yeah, what do you
never
have
fight
against?
Again. Damn. I will say the kind of the takedown defense and the defense he had in that first round was pretty good. Like I'll give him that. The guy he had a pretty big dude on him trying to get him down and hold him down and shit. And it held up pretty well. But my God, man, give that dude just a little bit of space. Please don't give him some grapplers and wrestlers, man. Like, let us have some fun Pereira fights. Enjoy that for a little bit. I paid a little bit of juice on TKO. That was stupid. That was absolutely dumb.
Yeah, I think by the time the fight rolled around, it was at like minus 125, and I just couldn't think of a reason not to.
Yep.
Just looking through the rankings, because they've got to move this guy along quick if they want to actually do anything with him. And he'll be the type of guy who will fight a lot, like even in boxing where organizations can hardly put on cards, he still manages to fight like 4 times a year. So I'm thinking Kevin Hall.
Uriah Hall?
Ooh. I like that. That's actually a pretty good matchup.
Yeah. There's some fights to be made.
Either which way, somebody's going to get violently knocked out.
Yeah.
If he fights you out.
Even if he moves up a little bit further in the division, like Till, is Till going to wrestle him?
No, he's going to knock Till out. That would be great. Sign me up for some of that too. Yeah.
I feel like Strickland might wrestle him, so I would stay away from that. But Strickland would talk about. He'd be like, "No, I'm gonna murder this guy," and then he'd go in and shoot.
He's taking
4 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, there's some stuff they can do with Pereira if they want to move him along. Moving us along, I love that they started the main card with this fight, but I hope they don't do it again because, like, where do you go from Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler in that fight?
Well, it ruined the next fight, which was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, the next fight was awesome.
I know, and nobody gave a shit because of what they saw before it.
Michael Chandler is we knew it going in, but that dude is a fucking moron. Like, he still could have won that fight in the 3rd round, and he just decided to let Justin Gaethje punch him in the face whenever he wanted. Like, that was some wild game or strategy, or I don't know what you want to call it, from Chandler, but he went full mush brain in that 3rd round. Gaethje was probably going to win the fight anyway, but Chandler made it much easier for him than he needed to be. But the entire fight was insane. I don't even know where to start, so I'll let you guys talk about it.
I had the under 1.5 and Gaethje inside the distance, and neither of them cashed, and they both almost like they. I don't. That was wild. Gaethje getting rocked and almost going back to old school Gaethje was a fun little glimpse. And then I don't know how Chandler gets up. I mean, what kind of death touch do Bronx have if Gaethje can't even put you out? Yeah, just a wild ass fight. Gaethje against Oliveira, that'll be fun.
If you're Dustin Poirier, you're looking for a way to get out of the Do Bronx fight right now. After seeing what he did to Chandler and what Gaethje tried to do to Chandler, he is quaking in his boots.
Terrified.
Wes?
Yeah, I won't say it's like, the greatest fight I ever saw, but man, it doesn't get much better than that. Like that fight was fucking amazing, dude. Just edge of your seat the entire time. I mean, I'll say it again. Gaethje's the most exciting fighter that we've ever seen, ever. And there's no argument about it. There's
no one close
from start.
Yeah, every fight.
Every fight from every round he's ever been in that you've seen of that man, it's never been boring. He's unbelievable, man.
And Chandler's probably top 5.
Yeah. Props to Chandler
bastard.
Because same shit, man. Brad's right though. Like he had a chance to win that crazy ass fight, and then in the third round, he literally is like dropping his hands and just doing that shit and taking 3 or 4 punches from Gaethje to the head, and then. Like, I don't know what he was thinking in the third round. Maybe he was fucking concussed. Who knows? But
I would assume so.
it was an amazing fight. Gaethje's a fucking madman. Like Chandler's like lost back to back, but it's like I'll watch him on every main event every single time they want to book that guy.
No fucks given. He is going to kill or be killed.
And he almost fucking killed Gaethje. Like he was bombing on him. Like. It was a great fight, man.
Yeah, I had some Chandler round 1 in that, and I'd fucking do it again. Also, Shane really likes your hair, Wes. He's jealous of you.
Yep.
He's never seen you without a hat, and he said, "Quit bragging," because look at that flow.
Shit is flowing, bro.
It's falling out. I'll put it that way.
You gotta enjoy it while you can. I'm with you. I'm very much with you. Next fight, which put people to sleep because it sucked. Shane Burgos getting a unanimous decision over Billy Q. I don't even think they threw a punch in this fight.
Another guy that gives no fucks. Billy Q is just all about it. He's not fucking around.
Burgos
and just
too.
will take. I mean, Burgos is very good. I played Billy Q there. I just think against Burgos, you need to have some power, because if you don't have power, Burgos is good offensively, and he'll wade through that shit, and he will put some hurting on you. Billy Q, I mean, he did what he could. I mean, he showed his motor, he showed his toughness. I just wish he had some more power. Because he might be, he could be very good if he had power. I think he'll just be good
and entertaining.
Yeah. Oh, and definitely entertaining. Regardless, that dude has heart.
Yeah, I had Burgos in that fight, mainly because of that. You need like legit hurt you power to get Burgos out of there. But if you have it, it's a problem for Burgos because he gets hit. Like he gets hit a lot. But man, he's got a chin. His boxing's unbelievable. I still go back to the Cater fight. Like those are 2 of the better boxers in that division, maybe in MMA. Their boxing is both very, very good. And man, he'll just put it on you, dude. Volume for 15 minutes. He's throwing shots at you. So Billy Q, fun ass fighter, man. I think he'll make a lot of dudes well, though. Like a lot of dudes are gonna give in fighting Billy Q. Burgos isn't one of those guys. That dude's just fucking tough. He's really good and tough. There's a lot of dudes that Billy Q's gonna make quit though.
Yep.
Yeah, that was part of the reason that this was such an intriguing fight, because both of these dudes will make a lot of guys quit, and neither of them is the type where that was going to be the case. And Wes Shane in the chat is actually Lance.
Oh.
That's awesome. I didn't even realize that.
No wonder he was loving the hair that I have left.
That's why he's jealous.
Yeah. Next fight we don't need to talk about. It was a sham. Frankie should have won. Frankie was up on a judge's card, 2-0 heading into the third, looking great, looking fantastic. Definitely winning the third round, and then gets knocked out in spectacular monkey NFT fashion by Marlon Vera, who I think it's safe to say is an ageist. When he's fighting these old dudes, he's fighting Frankie, he knocks him out in the third round. He's fighting Brad Pickett, he knocks him out in the third round. He just likes to make these old dudes suffer a little bit. I mean, I think he's one of those dudes we hear about in the nursing homes with the elder abuse. That's Marlon Elder Abuse Vera. The new nickname. Nailed it.
Ridiculous. I just needed Frankie to survive. I had him plus 3.5. He fucking banked the first round easy, and then the inevitable happened. That was terrifying for every second that fight was on the feet. Frankie looked scared, and he's you're getting that shit happen to you by Marlon Vera. I think you gotta hang him up.
Well,
yeah, I think that's the thing happening to you by Marlon Vera is
definitely have to talk about the takedown, Lance, since the wrestlers enter the chat.
Yeah.
Look, Frankie looked pretty good for a round, maybe half of a round. Man, in that second when it was on the feet, dude, like that dude looked so fucking terrified. He was moving and moving. He looked really old though, man. Like I know he's looked kind of old for a while. I'm just saying, physically and stuff, he looked old in that fight, man. The chin is it's done, dude. You're letting Marlon Vera go full. I mean, talk about Anderson again and front kicks to the chin. Like that was bad. Frankie's gonna keep fighting. Like that's one of those guys that is not gonna hang it up until they make him. That guy's going to keep fighting.
There were rumors he was going to hang it up if he won or lost on Saturday. So I'm not too sure about that.
I don't think he's not going to off a loss. He ain't going to.
He's just getting primed for another title run.
Yeah, he's
going to 25.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a smart game plan.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more to add there. Vera is fine, but he's always going to be at his best like a fringe top 10 guy. That's his absolute peak.
We've seen what happens to Marlon Vera when he steps up into the real dudes. You know, He gets his shit fucked up.
Yeah. Next up, co-main event, Rose Namajunas takes a split decision over Li Zhang. This is where it started to get late for me, and I started to doze off. Not that this was a bad fight; it wasn't a great fight, but yeah, I saw some people saying that it was scored the wrong way. I just was ready to hear the scorecards and move on to the next fight. So, Rose retains.
Yeah, this was a coin flip fight. I bet Rose live. I scored it for Zhang. I mean, I think there's a bunch of rounds that were coin flip rounds.
I I bet Jane, so I'm definitely biased, but I scored it for her, and I thought it was, I don't know, I saw a lot of Jane cards. Like, I saw more Jane cards than I did Rose cards.
Yep.
So
let's go to the authority MMA decisions.
Oh, God.
And
I think it was like 2/3 Zhang.
2/3 Nami Yunus, it's looking like now.
Yeah, so I was seeing more of like
Yeah.
fan more people that we follow. It's not, I don't follow a lot of media, so it was mostly probably betters and otherwise, but
I think it's
it was
3-2
close.
regardless
Yeah, it was
for
close. It was
either
close.
or, and I like I said, scored it for Zhang live.
Yeah, it looks like there was only one 49-46 card out there.
That was a bad card.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Oh no, not in the actual fight.
There was a judge that had
a bad card.
Yeah, there was a judge that had it like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Cologne had it 49-46.
Not great.
Somehow did not give Zhang the second or the third, which I think pretty much everyone thought she won. The one media scorecard that was for a 4-1 was actually 4-1 for Zhang, and it was Sean Sheehan, who is apparently some sort of judging guru. Mm-hmm. So Wes, you were officially robbed because
he's
the Irish dude said
a doofus.
The Irish dude said that she won. So what can we say?
That
Judges in this was New York City. Judges in New York City, racist. Maybe they didn't get great service at the bodegas, and they had to lash out.
I heard like that one judge was chanting fucking "Let's go Brandon" or whatever the fuck they're saying. So definitely fucking a racist.
I still haven't seen what caused that, so I don't get it entirely.
Because at the playout, the World Series playoffs, they were chanting "fuck Joe Biden" and it was getting bleeped out. So they came up with another way of having a phrase they can say that doesn't get bleeped out. So imagine being that cultish. Like, seriously though, it's weird to me. It's really weird.
This was, well, actually, I'm not sure. Was this in Texas or was this in Atlanta?
It was Atlanta and shit because they were, well, they started doing it like there was some, they started doing it like NASCAR races and shit. They were just yelling "fuck Joe Biden" like everywhere. And then like it started getting bleeped during like the MLB playoffs, I believe. And yeah, it's just weird, man. It's weird. I'll never understand it. I'll never understand how you can be that cultish. Like, it's.
You guys live in a excellent country.
Hey, y'all's politics ain't great either. Y'all got some fucking wackos up there too. Come on, y'all got some wackos up there.
Yeah, but they don't get elected.
No, I'm saying y'all got wackos in you, in and amongst y'all too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Y'all got some crazy fuckers up there too.
Hey, our prime minister just does a lot of blackface. All right.
I mean, he likes to go all out and do
likes
Halloween and shit. I mean, can you blame him?
It wasn't always Halloween. That's the lovely part.
It was always, at least most of the time, a costume party.
Yeah, it's a costume party.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyways, main event, Kamaru Usman keeps the UFC welterweight championship and cements himself in idiots' eyes as the greatest welterweight of all time by beating a guy who he already beat again in maybe more definitive but less impressive fashion. This was just like they took the first fight and they turned it down to a 6 or a 7 from a 10.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that Kobe is like a fucking delusional motherfucker. He is beyond like Conor McGregor. His delusion is out there, man. It's
Do you
always
think he actually believes it though?
that he like didn't lose and could beat Usman and shit. Yeah, probably. Like seriously, like he does. I guess he thinks he lost, but there's like these built-in excuses. Like this one, I don't know. Like Usman did something this time. He said he was cheating again. He grabbed his glove. Like, one time he was grabbing his glove and shit. And hit him in the back of the head. Like Usman landed some soft shots to the back of his head. Well, it happens every fight. Like every fight, there's soft
totally
shots.
faked that eye poke. That didn't look like that bad of an eye poke at the end. And he was...
I mean,
So, Wes, what you're trying to say is that Colby's like a MAGA Diaz bro. He's always got an excuse for why he loses.
Don't grip those together, Brad.
But unlikable, but completely unlikable. At least the Diaz are usually like. Yeah, I saw some people that I thought Usman won 4 rounds myself. There was a lot of people saying that it was tied going into the 5th. I thought that was crazy. Like it's one of those times
that round's a pity round.
Yeah, they were looking to give Colby some rounds in that.
I said that in a joking fashion, but I also had it Colby 125. So
yeah, Usman. He's a handful, man. Like in this generation of 170ers, man, he's a handful. His hands are good enough. I love that Bo like met Usman and was talking about his striking, and Matty just like, you hate both of these guys' hands. Like, what are you talking about? It was pretty funny. Bo was going on that shit for like a year and a half.
Yep.
But Usman's hands are good enough. And Usman said something that's just so fucking true. Like, it's gonna eat at Colby for the rest of his life that there was always somebody, one guy better than him during his time, and that's always going to be true. Usman's always.
His name is Worley Alves.
Yeah, I see that. Colby's a really good fighter. Though, like, I think he's a total piece of shit, but you know what? That guy is a very, very good fighter. Yeah. Usman's a little bit better. And like, shut the fuck. Look, I'm not even the biggest GSP fan you'll find. Like, I like GSP. I saw his run live. He was he was next level back in the day. He legitimately changed like MMA when he fought Hughes the second time, became championship. He was a different guy. I'm not even the biggest GSP fan. Shut the fuck up about Usman being on his level yet. Like, I think GSP's title defenses are way past him, and just so much other shit as far as stats go. But just look at it, man. Like, GSP was fucking just a game changing level fighter. Usman's not that. He's really good.
He's very
People
good.
used to pay to watch GSP fight too.
That's another big thing that is.
Yeah, I mean,
which is even more impressive considering he's not entertaining, really.
You could put on one hand how many guys were as popular and selling as GSP was. So Usman's never even going to sniff anything like that.
No, not even close.
No 10-8s in the second was annoying me.
That's I forgot.
I get stupid. Like, they're flash knockdowns, but when you do it twice and you're gonna count that round the same as some of these where there's a super close round either way.
If that wasn't a 10
was beating
round,
the shit out, like he was winning. It's not like he was losing that round either until that happened. Like, he was easily winning that round, and then he dropped him twice. And
so does that make up for the fact that that Colby took him down? Because Usman gets an extra.
Talk to Fight Metric. I don't give a shit. Like, these fucking nerds. I mean, the hilarious thing is Lance fucking jumping in on that. That is some like Twitter nerd shit that they give a fuck that Colby he got a takedown and they're not giving it to him. It's because he's mega or something. I don't fucking know. I don't care. Who cares? Oh, so Usman's takedown defense is 95%.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Because that makes the difference between Usman being a good wrestler or not. If he got taken down once by a former... Was Colby an All-American? I don't know. Colby's not even a MAGA guy. He got kicked out of Oregon or Oregon State or wherever the hell he was for smoking too much weed. Like, come on, get the fuck out of here with this.
As Bo says, he was a registered Democrat up until 2017.
There you go. All right, that was way too much time on last week's card, but it was good. And this week's card isn't so much, but we'll get through it together. UFC Vegas 42, UFC Fight Night 183, UFC Holloway versus Rodríguez is what we're talking about this week. I feel like that guess on the Fight Night number is probably pretty close.
That's actually probably not a terrible one.
We'll see. We'll see. Next time I'll need to make it more obvious that I don't like
197.
Okay, all right. I'll need to make it more obvious that I don't know and don't care what I'm talking about, rather than just getting it wrong. Kicking off the card in the vaunted, stacked light heavyweight division are a couple of guys who are right on the cusp of contendership. We got my boy Kenny Nunchucks taking on the UnJung. I tried to change it up. I feel we gotta stick with the UnJung. That's a good one, man.
I know, but I don't know. He might have grew a bunch.
I plead the shorts on that one. It's those Venom shorts that should be a no contest. The Thick Willie fight. I'm just saying. I know I'm not going to get my money back from my bets, but it should be a no contest. Sean, what do you got here?
But the positive is Jung that material is so thin on those Venom shorts. I think when what Jung was trying to do in that fight is gain a couple inches through like osmosis. You know, getting all sweaty and being up and close to the thickness. I wouldn't be surprised if he does a lot of the same things against Kenny Nunchucks. The takedown defense is not great. I don't think Jung is just going to quit like a bunch of these other guys that Kenny Nunchucks has beat. I think Jung might be able to take Kenny Nunchucks down and smash him on the ground. I really don't think he's that good, and his wins are hilarious when you look at who he's beat and how he's beat them. He pretty much needs you to either be very horrible or get tired after punching my face in. So I think Jung can be a little bit better than that. I think he gets takedowns, and I think he possibly finishes them. So I got 2 units on Jung at -115, and I threw a half a unit on him inside the distance at +250.
Ooh, Wes.
Yeah, I don't have like a really strong lean like that on this fight. I think that's probably how it happens. I think the UnJung is probably going to get takedowns on Kenny Nunchucks here. I think if it stays on the feet though, that Kenny Nunchucks has got a little bit of a chance. But will it stay up there long enough? Probably not. So yeah, I lean the UnJung here. I might end up throwing a little something on him, but I'm not as confident in him as Sean is.
Yeah, as much as my namesake Kenny Nunchucks, I want him to be good. He's not good. Just looking at his fight, that Stosic fight was just so weird with like multiple point deductions and. A judge added some shit up wrong, and when they were announcing the cards, there was all sorts of weirdness going on there. He got taken down and probably the Ulberg fight, getting his ass kicked until Ulberg realized that he only had like 3 MMA fights and he didn't have any cardio, and that turned on a dime. And then he fought a BJJ guy who can't wrestle or do anything and doesn't have any cardio, and still lost a chunk of the fight before the third round knockout. So I'm not convinced by any of that. And I know that the UnJung can at least fight for 15 minutes, even if sometimes badly, like against Sam Alvey. I don't think we would have gotten this price on him a year ago or 2 years ago if this fight happens. And I'm not really sure why we're getting it now. So I do have a shot on UnJung at minus 115 as well. So kind of like that one. Next up, we are in the lightweight division. This is not a bad fight. We got Mark Diakiese taking on Rafael Alves. Sean?
I like Diakiese here. I think if he wrestles in this fight, I think he can win it fairly easily. I know Alves is not he's decent on for takedown defense, but Ismagulov got him down. I think Diakiese can stay competitive on the feet. Alves does have some big power, but I think Diakiese has the cleaner striking. So I got Diakiese in a parlay with later on.
Yeah, I'll try. My mic's fucking up pretty bad. So
I don't think it's your mic. I think it's Brad's mic.
What?
I've been checking all my settings and everything, and
But when I mute you, it doesn't. It's still a little staticky, so I don't think it's yours, Wes.
Um, yeah, I'm with Sean here again. I like Diakiese in this fight. This could look a lot like the last fight for Alves. Diakiese got the length on him. I think he could keep the distance when they are on the feet, and I think Diakiese tries to get some takedowns in this fight, and he's just going to be the bigger, stronger guy. Yeah, I like Diakiese quite a bit in this fight. I think it probably goes to decision too. I think Diakiese by decision is like plus 150, plus 140, something like that. I don't think that's a bad look, but I'll definitely have Diakiese in a parlay for sure. Maybe a sprinkle on that by decision.
Yeah, I don't feel as strongly as you guys about this fight. I think that Alves is dangerous in ways that could certainly hurt Diakiese. Obviously, it seems like he throws pretty big and has pretty big power. He also has a decent guillotine, and we've seen Diakiese get hurt by that before. I think it was the hooker by does well that I think can give Diakiese problems here. But I think I'm going with the dog shot on this one. I think seems like Diakiese by decision, like you guys said, is probably the right one. Next up,
is it my mic or is it Brad's mic?
I think it's Brad's. Brad, you might have to unplug your headset and plug it back in. Maybe jiggle the handle.
Yeah. What if I just talk like this?
Yeah,
sounds fine. Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful. Next up, we are in the women's flyweight division. For Courtney Casey, 9-9 MMA record, taking on someone who has grown in favor over MMA Twitter, Liana Jojua, who posts some alright pictures every now and then. I follow her. I don't follow a lot of MMA fighters, so she's got the seal of approval. Sean?
It's weird because she's also a Kadyrov fighter, and you would think, I'm pretty sure Kadyrov's very anti that stuff, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't care about this fight. Courtney Casey should win. She's much better, but laying minus 240 on Casey in a MMA fight, no thank you.
Wes?
Yeah, I guess Casey should win. I don't want any part of this fight. I will say that this has one of those ones of a feeling that there could be like a stupid sub though. The under's like a lot of plus money. If I'm like a couple bowls deep, I might take a small shot on the under, but besides that, I want no part of this fight.
Armbar from guard.
Yep,
it's possible.
Yeah,
a favorite of mine, one of those in her first UFC fight. So 600, 620 out there. Maybe a little sprinkle in a round robin. Next up, somebody that I love to hate, Sean Woodson. Man looks like a scarecrow who wandered off the farm into an octagon, taking on Colin Anglin. So we got the scarecrow against the fisher in this one. Get it? He's angling. That's what you call a fisher. If you guys didn't know. Sean.
I don't have too much on this fight. Strickland as a big favorite, I feel like is scary for anybody that continues to lay that juice on him. He has some skills, but he is also pretty bad, and guys can kind of take over in fights. Is Anglin the guy to do it? Maybe, and it's a pretty big number. I'm staying away, but I don't hate that angle for England.
I don't hate that angle. I like what you did there, Wes.
Yeah, this dude looks scarecrow. I don't know. He looks almost like alien type dude once he gets in the cage. Like he don't look human. I mean, like, yeah. If you're laying like minus 330 on this guy against almost anybody, like that's a loser in the long run. Like he's not very good. I don't think that loss for Anglin looks as bad now. And he's had some okay wins leading up to that. I think he could try to make this a little bit of a dirty fight on Woodson, man. And if he can get inside, can't let Woodson stay at distance. Like he's gonna have the reach advantage and shit on him. And Woodson he uses it okay, but if Anglin can get inside and dirty this up and kind of try to wrestle a little bit, it's a decent number. I might hope some more parlays come in on Woodson and see if I can get a little better number, but I'm probably gonna have a small little shot on the fisherman in this spot.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot to fade Sean Woodson again. But in my defense, I feel like every spot is a good spot to fade Sean Woodson. He's a guy who is a long counter striker who has no power to keep guys off of him and can't really keep up the volume when somebody puts it on him. So I don't like a lot about Sean Woodson's game. Sean, I know you're tall and skinny, but this guy looks like if you tried to cut down to 125.
That would be terrible.
This is I Anglin doesn't check them because his leg's liable to snap in half, and that's not going to be good for anybody, except us, because we're going to bet Colin Anglin in this one, and I think that's the way to go. I'm just going to every time we can get his opponent at plus 200 or higher, which is way too often to begin with, in my opinion. I'm going to take it. Next up, we got the women's flyweight division. Cynthia Calvillo against Andrea Lee in they had real jobs and didn't get punched in the face for a living. You wouldn't think they were actually pretty bout of the week.
Ruthless Bradley. I think Calvillo can win this fight and do it somewhat easily if she wrestles. I know that she's not had as much success at 125 wrestling as she did at 115, but Andrea Lee is very bad and much less athletic girls than Cynthia Calvillo have taken her down with ease. I think Calvillo can do okay on the feet, and I think she can take Lee down. I bet Calvillo. I got her at minus 102 for a unit.
I don't know. I think my shit's fucked up. I don't know if it's mine or Brad's, but
It's Brad's, because when I mute Brad, it sounds okay. But it's weird because Brad took out his headphones, so it's his computer is possessed, obviously.
I don't know. Man. I'm not sure if it's him or me, because I'm getting all kinds of like feedback in my shit, even when his is muted. So I don't know.
Both of your computers.
I'm getting feedback when I mute my shit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have much on this fight. Anyway, I'm not sure Calvillo is gonna go for takedown. She seems to have fell in love with her striking lately. I think if she does strike, it becomes a coin flip fight. If she does try to get takedowns, she can get them. So she probably wins, but I just don't really know how this fight's going to play out. So it's a total pass for me.
Hopefully, Andrade taught her a lesson. She does not need to stand. She's a wrestler.
Her past few fights, she's like tried to stand and box and shit, and she's lost. So
yep,
she better get takedowns.
Figure it out.
Well, we apologize for any audio trouble. You can support the podcast, send us some money, we'll get some equipment, it'll sound better, and then you won't have to deal with this. So that is your solution. And if you don't do that, then you can shut the fuck up. But keep listening. I don't care about this fight. Cynthia Calvillo either can't or won't wrestle. That 125. And Andrea Lee couldn't figure out how to finish a triangle for like 4 minutes against the shitty Shevchenko. So she can't grapple at all. I don't think this is going to be good. I guess Cynthia Calvillo will take a decision based on maybe activity and holding her in the clinch and some stuff like that. But that one isn't too exciting considering it's two ranked fighters. 155, two guys who have proven to be somewhat exciting. Thiago Moisés and Joel Álvarez, who he's good, but he is fun.
Yeah, I've won a little bit of money on Alvarez. Like I think I had him in the Duffy fight. I might even had him in the Yakovlev fight. I don't see it here. I think he's gonna have a very hard time subbing Thiago Moisés, and I just don't think he has what it takes on the feet to knock him out. So Thiago Moisés should kind of win this wherever this goes. I haven't put him in a parlay. I've been kind of steering clear of parlays lately, but maybe if I can find something to go with it, it wouldn't be a bad piece there.
Parlays are always the way. More like what I always hear. Wes, thoughts on this fight?
Okay, I heard nothing of what Brian just said, but yeah, there's just no way Joe Alvarez is pulling off some dumb shit on Moisés. It's just not happening, man. It's a way different level here. I like Moisés in this fight. I think this probably stays on the feet a lot. Moisés can piece him up on the feet if it goes to the mat. I mean, it's going to be Alvarez on his back. You think he's really going to? I mean, I guess it's always possible for some idiot to catch a sub on a guy that's way better than him when they're in their guard, but I just can't see it, man. I like Moisés a lot in this spot, and there's numerous things already that you can put him with. I mean, even with Diakiese, that's a good parlay, I think. I have him with somebody later on the card and some other parlays and shit, but I like Moisés quite a bit in this fight.
So I'm trying the headphones again. How we doing so far?
Good. I'm just not sure if it's yours or mine. I swear, I don't know.
I think it's mine. I think it's mine. Blame Bill Gates. He made me do an update to Windows, and I think he gave my computer the vaccine, and you see how that went. Bill Gates' fault. That's in this fight. I think that Joel Alvarez's early UFC success is going to be his own downfall here, because he's fought some guys where he's been able to go to his back and get the sub and that sort of stuff. So he's going to be comfortable on his back, and I think this is the wrong guy for him to be comfortable on his back against. You're from guard. He's too good at jiu-jitsu, and I think that's going to turn into him probably writing out a decision. Could be a little bit interesting on the feet, but again, I don't think that Alvarez really has a lot of skill on his feet. He throws a lot of stuff out there. Guys, I don't think that Moisés is going to be troubled by really anything coming back at him from Alvarez. So I like him quite a bit, and I don't hate him. It's one of those parlay guys in this spot. Bantamweight division now. This one kicking off the main card, and once again, other than the main event, it seems like this might be the best fight on the card in terms of technical ability. Not the best for other reasons. We'll get to that later. But we've got Song Yadong, everybody's favorite Dong, taking on Julio Arce. Sean?
Oh, I thought we were doing the Baeza fight.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this should be fun. I mean, what we've seen from the Dong, he's pretty fun when he can obviously stay on his feet. Arce, has some losses, but he hasn't looked terrible in those losses, I would say. And
hold on. Are you saying that the Dong is fun when it can stay erect?
When it can stay upright, yes. It must be upright, and then it's go time. Yeah, like I've liked the skills of Arce for a while. That fight against Jojua, I guess it's not terrible in hindsight, especially because it was for the most part a standing fight. I think this could be close. I don't really have a bet on it. I think it's going to be a close fight, as the odds can show. I'll probably pick the dog in Tout Master, so hopefully Arce can win a decision.
Wesley.
Yeah, I've liked the Dong for a while, not my entire life, but yeah, I still think he's a pretty good fighter. I know on this show most of us on the show was on Kenny last time out. I just think that was a little step down for Dong. I think he's a little bit better than Kenny, but I don't think he's as clean on the feet as Arce, and that's probably going to be the difference here. I think Arce is going to have a little bit more volume in this fight. He's got a really good chin. We know Dong packs a little bit of power, but Arce does have a pretty good chin, so I think he could take it if a couple do happen to land. I just think he's going to be the busier, cleaner striker in this fight, and pretty sure he's still getting some dog money on him. I think it's worth a little shot again. Just a guy that I like Sean said, same here. I've always thought his striking was very, very high level, and I think they could win him a close fighter.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the more competitive fights on the cards. Like both these guys, I've had my share of betting against Yadong and betting on Yadong. And sometimes Yadong brings me happiness, and sometimes it brings me sadness. It's just you run the full gamut with Yadong. It's it's really with you for life. But Arce is a guy that I've always kind of liked, and it's weird the matchups that the UFC has given him, because stylistically, they've probably been very appropriate, but because he's always facing, like, his two losses are to Shaman Rice, who's Muay Thai champion, and Dewadu, who's uh, if not Muay Thai, then kickboxing champion. Like, two very, very skilled strikers. Um, so he can strike with anybody because both of those fights were extremely competitive. So if this stays on the feet, I think you've got to give Arce a little bit of an edge. I'd be interested to see if Yadong goes for the takedowns, tries to get on top in this one. It hasn't really been a staple of his game. It's more him getting taken down. So if he's not willing to come out and wrestle in this fight, I kind of have to side with Arce. But man, this is I think it's a tough one to call. And when you've got a tough one to call and you think it's going to play out in a particular way, which is on the feet, I'm going to go with the better striker at dog odds. So Dimes has plus 117 out there right now. I'm going to take that.
Arce by decision is like over plus 300. And I think this is probably going to go 15 minutes. So
that's
Arce by decision at plus 315, I think it is. That's a nice number.
Jeez.
Yeah. 315, 320. It's that's going to end up in some plays for me over the weekend. Fight that probably won't is in. I mean, we talked about the stacked light heavyweight division earlier, but man, is there anything that compares to women's 145? I mean, this is just the pinnacle. This division is so high level that there's only like 4 or 5 athletes that can even compete in it. That's how good this women's featherweight division is. So Sean, break down the fake Canadian against Leah Letson. Is that Jetson?
Yeah, I don't know who the hell that is. What bout order are you using? You on the
He's going by the lines, ain't you?
The lines. Gotcha.
Now Typology's even got a different order now, Brad, don't they?
Oh yeah, they've changed. I just refreshed it.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Well, it's okay because this
this
breakdown is gonna be very quick. I really don't care. Felicia Spencer is not good. It's crazy to me that she got to fight. It's crazy she got to fight Cyborg and Amanda Nunes, and she is
yep
not good.
Cyborg's fighting this week.
She is, and she's like a minus 3,000 favorite, like she should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no clue who she's fighting, but she's probably better than her, which is sad. So I'll pick Spencer, the fraudulent Canadian.
Wes?
Yeah, I sadly know who this other chick is, and she is like really, really bad. Spencer's going to win this fight, but there's no way in hell that you should touch any of it. Unless you're Brad and find some crazy prop number. Because Spencer at minus 300 is deserved, but crazy to think about putting any kind of money on.
Letson fought 3 years ago in the UFC. And
She was on a tough. She was on that female tough, dude, and she is horrible.
And won a split against something called Julija Stolyarenko.
Yeah, that's another
finale. She hasn't fought 3 years. What are we doing?
Yep.
She hasn't even had a fight booked in 2 years.
No. She retired and came back and nobody noticed and nobody even knew that she was
that other chick the other chick that she beat has already fought in the UFC a couple times, I believe. And she's horrible. She's terrible too.
Yeah, that's just quality stuff. Everybody wants to fight.
They all do.
Got those 2 stacked cards. Now we're going to get like 3 months of this.
So moving on or backwards, depending on which website and card order you're using, Good fight. Welterweight division. The caramel macchiato man, Miguel Baeza, taking on Chaos Williams. This is violent. I could see scenarios where it's not violent, but let's hope for the violence. We'll need it at this point in the night. Sean?
Yeah, I hope so. I think it's going to be a fun fight. Both these guys have above average striking and striking rate, so it's not like they don't throw that much. I kind of thought Baeza was going to be better than he is. I mean, he is 29, so I guess there is still some room for improvement. But dude just gets hit a lot, and there's some hitters at 170. Ponzinibbio definitely
he's fighting one of them.
I know that is as well. Ponzinibbio, gave him some pretty good business in there. And Chaos Williams has a pretty heavy. He has pretty heavy strikes. So maybe Baeza shows a bunch of improved striking defense, and he can win kind of just more on volume. I think Chaos Williams is worth a shot. I played him at plus 120 for a unit. I played him by TKO at plus 250 for half a unit. Baeza, I just don't like how much he gets hit. And after a war with Ponzinibbio, and then you got to fight this dude, not great for the brain.
Wes?
He is coming back kind of quick, ain't he? I guess it's been, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, but yeah.
Early June, so not terrible, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still feel like Baeza is the better all around striker. And he does get hit a little bit, and I just don't think he throws enough at times either. Like, he's so tentative sometimes. He can go minutes in a round without really throwing anything. That might not be a bad thing in this fight, though. Like, I think the slower pace kind of fight this favors him. Because, I mean, he can't get in a firefight with Chaos Williams. Like, he's going to get knocked out. Like, that's his problem. I don't think he's definitely not as good as I think we thought he was going to be, but I think his chin does hold him back too, man. You're going to have to get into some scraps when you get to a certain level, and your chin's got to hold up. I'm just not, and against this guy, yeah, that worries me. I haven't bet it, man. I've been back and forth on it, man. I just still feel like Baeza is the slightly better overall striker, maybe fighter overall, but that power worries me. So, yeah, I haven't really bet anything on this fight. I'm still, I guess I haven't even really settled on a pick. I guess I lean that power with Chaos, but man, I don't know. Something tells me it's going to be a slow, kind of boring fight that you're going to flip a coin in. It's something Baeza could win, but yeah, no bet from me as right now.
Yeah, I think if Baeza comes out with his most technical fight, that he could very easily win a decision in this one. He's the longer guy. He's got the more well-rounded striking game. He's the only one that we've seen out of these two with any sort of grappling game. So there's definite advantages to Baeza in this fight. I just think that Chaos Williams has figured out that his strategy for every fight needs to be, I'm going to go in there, and anytime my opponent throws anything at me, I am going to answer back with multiple strikes. I'm just going to bomb on him anytime he throws at me. And in most fights, it's probably going to be enough for him to catch somebody and knock them out. And in the fights where it's not, like the Semmelsberger fight, people are going to taste his power early on and not love it. And it's going to make them hesitant to throw throughout the fight. So I think Baeza's more the second the latter of those two. He's probably going to get countered with some stuff, and I'm not sure how much he's going to want to throw after that, or how much he can take from Chaos. So, I think Baeza is the more skilled of these fighters. I think that it's more likely that that Chaos wins the fight, either by knockout or maybe a similar fight to what he had with Semmelsberger in his last outing. So I'll probably end up taking a little dog shot on Chaos Williams here. That will bring us to the co-main event. I mean, I'm not sure that this is a full t-shirt in the pool fight, but I mean, when these guys head to the beach, they're not eager to rip off the tarps, as they may say. So, Ben Rothwell, Marcos Rogerio de Lima, two big baldies going at it in, yes, I said that correctly, folks, the co-main event. This isn't even like a me joking, this is the co-main event. This is actually the co-main event.
Does it get any better than this? I don't think it does.
Sean, what do you got with these two
Rothwell's 40,
pieces
bro.
of meat slapping?
The co-main event.
Yeah. Rothwell is 40 years old and pretty washed, and he still should.
36. He's 36. I can't even believe that. He doesn't even seem that old. Fuck.
Such a young division. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised by this Rothwell line. De Lima quits. If he doesn't land something and knock you out in the first round, he quits. Now, the only caveat to that is if he can literally take you down and lay on you and not even have to do any offense, as well as obviously the guy on the bottom just has to lay there like a starfish. I don't see that happening in this fight. Rothwell has shown a good chin for his entire career. I've kind of learned my lesson not to bet too much on shitty old heavyweights, so I'm not going that route. I just went under 2.5 because I really do think that Lima is not going to get the KO after 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and Rothwell is going to body him up, take him down, maybe smash him on the ground, maybe grab his weird submission, and he puts him away. So I got under 2.5 at minus 120. I probably should have bet more on it. I only got 1 unit on it, but Rothwell should win this fight. I might look at adding just with Rothwell as well, because I just don't see it. De Lima is not good, and Rothwell's gritty enough that he can take whatever he throws, and then Lima's going to quit. I think it's fairly simple.
Believe you called the go-go choke some weird choke. Some weird.
I didn't call it his
Josh
choke.
Barnett with that choke. All right.
I mean, it's shitty because they call it a guillotine choke on old Sherdog. What do they call it on Tapology?
I don't know, but it's called a go-go choke.
I know, they should get their facts straight though. Well, they call it a front choke on Tapology.
They called it a guillotine on Tapology.
Yeah.
No, it's front choke on.
Yeah, that's weird.
Tapology.
They've got front choke for Mitrione and Barnett, and then the exact same choke that he used against the other Barnett, current T-shirt in the pool champ Barnett. They call it the guillotine.
Yeah,
that's weird.
That doesn't make any sense. Those guys need to step their game up.
Yep.
Need to get educated. Wes, educate the folks.
Yeah, I don't. There's not much to learn on the present day heavyweight division in the UFC. I'm kind of with Sean here. This one's pretty easy, I think. Rothwell isn't Maurice Green. He's not just gonna lay there and do absolutely nothing. We've seen. I mean, there's certain fighters that absolutely have a narrative to their career, and it happens over and over and over and over. And at that point, you just believe them when they show you who the fuck they are, and that's the Lima, man. He's not gonna get Rothwell out of there. Rothwell's not some fucking fish that's gonna even if Rothwell gets a takedown there. We just talked about Rothwell choking dudes and shit. Like he's got so many ways to get DeLima out to give DeLima his reason to get the fuck out of there. So yeah, I like Rothwell in this fight. I like the under. Rothwell inside the distance is like plus 160 or so. Hell, even straight, man. I think the line's low. I think it's probably like $1 short. Um, Rothwell should not be that short of fave against this guy. I like Rothwell quite a bit.
Yeah, there's two lines that I like in this fight. One is just Rothwell straight because he is durable. He is going to throw way more volume than most heavyweights, even if he does it in slow motion. And he has, I mean, he doesn't really have much finishing power in terms of strikes anymore at this age. Used to have a little bit of that, but he can sub guys at heavyweights, and he's proven that time after time. And now he's in there against a guy who can't take a great punch, has no cardio, will tap to almost anything. He went unconscious to a forearm choke like 2 fights ago. Unconscious. I didn't even know that was possible. All you have to do is turn your head. He wanted to get choked out by that
Heavyweights, baby.
um, so yeah, the under, I don't understand here. We've seen a couple in recent years of the Lima fights going distance, and both of them have literally been the rounds that he wins, he gets a takedown, and he just lays on top of a guy for the entire round. That's what happened against Maurice Green. That's what happened against Wieserick, or whatever, however you pronounce that guy's name, a couple of years ago. Uh, Everything else has been a finish, a first round, or I think there was like 1 or 2 second round finishes sprinkled in there. So the fact that we can get the under 2.5, there's still some minus 125s out there at the US legals, but minus 135 at dimes. I'm all over that. I didn't get the good price that Sean did because I didn't look on the lines until today. So I'm an idiot, but this fight to not go 12 and a half minutes is the MMA analysis consensus bet of the week. We're all thinking that either DeLima gets it done right away, probably not, or Rothwell makes him and or benefits from him quitting within the first 12 and a half minutes. So minus 135, under 2.5. That is the MMA analysis consensus bet of the week, and that will bring us to the main event of the evening. I'm not sure I'd call it a great fight because I think it's kind of a mismatch. The betting line of minus 700s will tell you that it's maybe kind of a mismatch, but there is an absolutely great fighter in this one, and that is Max Holloway. Sean, he's taken on Yair Rodríguez, Mexico's latest, not even, no, they've got other hopes. I mean, Brandon Moreno's a champion right now,
Yeah.
but he's a little, so that doesn't even count.
He's probably better than this guy.
Yeah. But they don't promote him except in their like weird Lego shits that they do. Anyway, talk about how Max Holloway is gonna punch this man's face off for 25 minutes or less.
Yeah, this is. I just think there's a big level gap here. I just don't know what Yair is gonna have for Max. Yair was struggling in the third round against Jeremy Stevens. Man, imagine what's gonna happen to him when Max Holloway is boxing his fucking face off. I don't think it hits the cards. I think Holloway is just gonna absolutely volume up on Rodríguez, and they're gonna end up stopping it. Just a TKO accumulation of damage. I never really got the Yair hype. I know we all made a bunch of money against Frankie. We probably should have made a bunch of money with Korean Zombie, but that one still stings. I was in attendance for that one. That was a rough one.
It was live at that. Yep.
That one still hurts.
I didn't even know what happened. I was looking around like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, we had no idea. Holloway's just like an all-time great, and he seems to be getting better. What he did against Cater was insane. He's gonna smash him. I got Holloway -5.5 in a parlay with Diakiese, 2.5 units at -102, and then I put a unit on Holloway inside the distance at +145. I just think he's gonna absolutely tear through Rodríguez, and it probably finishes it in the third or fourth round.
Wes?
Yeah, really. I don't have too much more to add, man. I just think this is two different. This is a few different levels here, man. I think Max stops him third, fourth round. Max isn't the type of guy that like Yair's going to pull off some crazy dumb shit and get him out of there. Just Max is way too durable. He's way too good. I mean, Max throws 400 or 500 strikes a fight. I mean, imagine the punches that Yair's going to be taking here, man. Yair doesn't threaten any kind of takedowns here. It's going to be a kickboxing match. Yeah, I like Max inside the distance. Some slight plus money. The points handicap is really nice too for a parlay piece. It's great to see Max back. I always love to watch him fight, but it sucks that this is the type of. I mean, guess double-edged sword. I'm gonna love to watch Max style out on this fucking dude, but it just seems like Max should be in far more important fights than this, especially coming off, that Cater performance that was like kind of reminded everybody, the people that thought he lost back to back to Volkanovski, which I thought he won one of those fights, but it still kind of showed that Max is probably getting better, unbelievable, and probably getting better. So yeah, I like him a lot in this fight.
Yeah, it's wild looking back that after having 2 losses on his record against Volkanovski, who is excellent at winning MMA fights.
Yeah.
I'll give him that credit. That he was like -150 against Calvin Kattar last time out. And
I fucked up.
Yeah, I fucked up too. I'll never do that again. I'll never do that again.
This dude just puts up like Madden numbers. If there was an equivalent of Madden numbers in MMA, it would be Max Holloway. It's absolutely ridiculous the output this guy has, and that's something where maybe for round, Yair is talented enough where he can hold his own, and then Max is just going to start to pick up steam after that, and I don't think it's going to look good for Yair. I remember back in the day, I had some like Pettis round 4, round 5, or Holloway round 4, round 5 in the Pettis fight, and it's kind of made me reevaluate how I look at those fights. Where I'm like, yeah, this guy's gonna overwhelm him with cardio and volume. I think that starts to creep a little bit earlier and earlier in these sorts of fights with Holloway, where there's so much volume. So I could see a finish coming as early as round 3 in this fight. Yair's tough. I don't think it'll be in the first 10 minutes, but when you look at a fight like this and you're looking at a huge line, really a way for Holloway to lose. Like, Yair's not going to go out there and take him down. It's going to have to be some freak thing, some freak like Korean zombie type knockout that we've never really seen Max suffer before. So I think Holloway is extremely safe, and I don't think that Yair can last 25 minutes with him. So the fact that you can get that inside the distance at plus money is, that's crazy. Like, did I not refresh the lines? Because it looks like Dimes has Holloway inside at plus 165.
165. Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't crazy. That seems like a bet that you should probably make on this fight if you have that available to you. Otherwise, they've actually got some really nice prices on the round props. Usually Dimes isn't great at those, but starting at round 3 is plus 1075, and it goes up from there. I think that you might want to toss out a couple shekels on those 3, 4, 5 props. But I think the finish comes from round 3, and Matt Holloway will remain the best and most exciting featherweight in the world, aside from the little Australian that nobody wants to watch because he's boring. It'll be fun to watch on Saturday night, though. That will do it for us. Usually we don't do this, but we did like half and half recap and half breakdown, because last week's card significantly better than this week's card. But hopefully you guys enjoyed us blabbing about it. We'll be back again next week. Wait, will we be back next week?
Yes, with a very bad card.
Ooh, very bad. That sounds even worse than this card.
It is.
Oh, this is the one. Oh, I saw this card get tweeted, the bout order get tweeted out. I was like, wow, these prelims really suck. I hope the main card's all right. But the joke, for those who haven't seen the tweet, is that was the main card too. The card next week is that's
gonna be a struggle
thing.
It's way worse than this week. Way worse.
Yeah. Adrian Yanez and Davy Grant is probably the best fight. No, Kiesa and Brady's the best fight on the card. But
as
long as it stays together.
Yes. Yanez and Grant is all right, and then it's looking rough below that.
It's real rough.
Real rough.
My God, dude.
Maybe Lance will be back next week, and he can host the show, and I can just say stupid shit about it, because that's how I feel. But we appreciate all you guys joining in the chat with your comments on this one, and enjoy the fights? ? We'll be back next week.